Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Red Flags Only podcast, where we dive into things you thought you may have understood, but you might have missed some warning signs along the way. I am your host, Dion Royal, and I hope you have been enjoying your summer vacation as much as I have been enjoying mine. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you find any of this information in any way helpful. Welcome to Season 2. Our focus will always be on the strength and success of the black family and the connectedness of our communities. Nothing is ever truly easy for us, but I do believe that when the information is made readily available, those that are looking for better will find and utilize it in the best way possible for them and their families. We will always have those of us that won't listen and don't heed the signs. This is for them too. They just ain't the focus. I would like to start out by informing you guys about the law and how it works in this situation that we currently live in America. The President of the United States, Cheeto Jesus, has enacted Title 40 U.S. Code 1315, the Law Enforcement Authority of Homeland Security for Protection of Public Property. Now, I'm going to try to be as simple as I can with the explanation of this because it is complicated, and I am not a lawyer nor giving legal advice. I'm just trying to help those of us that may not really understand or find this shit a little bit more complicated, just trying to figure out what it means for the average person on a day-to-day basis. This is a federal law that specifically grants the Secretary of Homeland Security special policing powers. It is not the Insurrection Act, but it is a more targeted authority. Now, it allows the Secretary of Homeland Security to designate employees of any component of the Department of Homeland Security, including agencies like Customs and Border Patrol, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, of course, ICE, FBI, DEA, ATF. It allows them to act as law enforcement officers to protect federal property and persons on that property. The key powers that are granted to these groups are the ability to make arrests, carry firearms, serve warrants, and conduct investigations for offenses committed on federal property. Now, we highlighted serve warrants because we're going to come back to that. It's going to be kind of important down the line. Now, some of you might have heard the number 740 because the law was originally passed as Section 740 of the Homeland Security Act of 2002. But when the U.S. Code was updated, it was codified into Title 40 as Section 1315. Legal experts and journalists will often refer to its original source, Section 740, and its current code location, 40 U.S.C. 1315, interchangeably. So you'll hear, and that's just to keep the confusion going, you'll hear them refer to it as two different things on different occasions. And that's really, like I said, to keep the confusion going. The administration is using this statute as the primary legal justification for deploying DHS agents, specifically from CBP, ICE, and the Federal Protective Service to Washington, D.C. 40 USC 1315 is the day-to-day specific authority being used to justify the deployment of these DHS agents. It's a standing law that does not require an emergency declaration. The Insurrection Act will require an emergency declaration and an act of Congress to proceed in that way. But okay, so now that the technical aspects are out of the way, let's talk about what we see on the ground. And shout out to the brothers and sisters in the field for keeping the world posted on what's happening in the DMV area. Now, we've seen multiple posts and videos of them people rolling deep, 5-6 vehicles, 10-15 dudes hopping out on traffic stops, performing Terry stops, running up on private property, and really all other manner of treachery. A lot of stuff we haven't seen on camera, but the cameras are important, and we'll go into why a little bit later on. Now, if you're paying real close attention, all I've seen in these videos are melanated people, black folks. Young, old, mostly male, female, don't matter who you are, what you do. And because some of us feel like because we dress nice or we work downtown or we live in a nice neighborhood, we ain't like the rest of them niggas. Newsflash, Playboy. Your hair nappy, and you can come out in this new sun without catching on fire or spontaneously combusting. You a nigga, just like them niggas, and you will be treated accordingly. DC is the ground zero beta test for how they gonna roll out across the nation. And because of how this law is set up, Cheeto Jesus got a little time, maybe 30 to 60 days, maybe 90 days to get this shit done before he needs Congress to get involved to approve it or extend it. Now, here's where the bullshit is in play. All they need is for one little thing to kick off. A riot, a protest, a mass shooting, a police standoff, any little thing, and this shit is going to get kicked into overdrive. And see, what most people don't understand is that all the agencies involved are working together in an unprecedented fashion. Now, check it out, right? We've all watched action movies, like The Negotiator, stuff like that, where something kick off and the feds got to come in and take over for the local police, and the locals are pissed off and they don't want to work with them because they don't like the fact that they coming in and taking over their case, and it's a whole bunch of BS on the back end. That normally makes for drama in the movie and everything. But that's really true in real life. Nobody want to be seen as incapable of doing their job effectively or needing help all the time. But now, all of a sudden, funny as this is, everybody is real chummy. The play is in, and they running it to perfection, people. They sweeping the hoods. They got ICE for the illegals, DEA for the dope, ATF for the guns, and niggas selling loot squares. Think I'm playing if you want to. FBI to coordinate all the federal charges and run the warrants, and just in case you niggas really want to act up, the National Guard is on standby. This is straight out of the Art of War playbook, and nobody in our community is really ready for any of this. Now, we always hear about how niggas gonna do something, gonna act up when it comes down to that time to do something, but I'm gonna tell you, to be honest, I'm seeing something totally different on camera when it comes to the people on the ground. Niggas is scared. I see niggas on camera shaking like a hoe in church when them people walked up on the porch on them. Just walked up on the porch, like snatching cigarettes out niggas' hands, like, hey, who is you? Where you in? What you doing over here?
You got your ID on you, chick?
Well, no, I live right here.
Okay, cool.
It's a cigarette. Did y'all get a call or something about right here?
No, so we're doing checks, keeping everybody safe down here, right? Have you heard of the federal search that Donald Trump's put down?
No.
Right? You don't follow like 03 anything like that? No. All right, so yeah, Trump's got all federal agencies kind of coming together, 7 days of going out, trying to stop the violent crime, all kind of stuff. So we're out here contacting people, talking to them, right? Quality of life offenses, smoking, drinking in public, right? Can't happen outside, right? Most people know that. So we're contacting people, trying to advise them of the law, so they learn, right? And then if there's other stuff going on where it turns into, there's multiple agencies or somebody, there's shooting, things like that. There's extra hands all right? So we're just out here trying to inform people and educate people. It's not like we're trying to just go grab people and ruin someone's life over a joke or something like that, right?
I only asked because when you walked up at the moment, you walked up, you only asked me.
Yeah, well, it smelled like the odor of marijuana in the air, right? And you're the only guy that had something lit in your hand. I didn't flash, right? So I didn't realize it was just a cigarette. So that's on me. I appreciate you understanding and not getting shit. All right, so just know, right? Learn, tell your boys, like, yo, everybody's out. From FBI to the police. Right? So do your thing, let them know, don't be smoking outside, don't be drinking outside. Because Donald Trump is tired of it. People coming in.
I didn't know.
You didn't know smoking in public?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the rest of
Because they're learning this recreational use, right?
Yeah, so DC is recreational use as well, right? Like, you can legally possess up to 2 ounces. You can gift an ounce to your boy, right? So if you had 2 ounces and he said he needed a zip, you can give him a zip, but you can't smoke outside.
I'm telling you, this is a show of force, the likes of which we have never seen. They occupy the neighborhoods, and as soon as the sun goes down, it gets spooky for reasons other than the usual hood elements like the stick up man or shit like that, Now, we've always had predators lurking amongst us. They are everywhere. You know what I mean? We can't get around it. Everywhere you go, you're going to have some. But we have never had the predator of predators in our midst. And if you're out at the wrong place at the wrong time, your ass is going to jail. Now, think about all the niggas out and about with warrants, carrying dope, carrying pistols, involved in all manner of, bullshit. You know what I mean? And think about them niggas' enemies, or even for shit, think about them niggas' victims. You don't think when the predator shows up, they don't want to feast on the top of the food chain first to establish their dominance? So don't ever believe that the victims or the enemies won't take advantage of the presence of the predator or predators to do that dirty work. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And the funny part is, it's coming to a city near you. Get ready for it. Now, when Cheeto Jesus was laying out this plan, he mentioned several other cities in the examples, and almost all these cities got the same thing in common: high percentages of large, poor populations of black folks, period. You can call it what you want. I can only tell you what it looks like. You have been targeted. You have been specifically targeted for destruction and extinction. The good thing about this is that this ain't the first time that they done pull something like this. And this probably ain't gonna be the last time, because this plan ain't gonna really work either. But it's gonna change shit, and it's gonna change shit in a major way. See, the difference this time is that it's overt, it's outright, and it's coming directly at you. See, even if we ain't like them niggas, we all know some of them niggas, related to some of them niggas, work with some of them niggas, and in many cases live with some of them niggas. And our lives will be adversely impacted if anything ever happened to them niggas. Now, the efforts of the enemy are focused and coordinated, and they are working all angles to get the desired results. They already started with the propaganda and the smear campaign, repeatedly telling anybody that'll listen via the network news, social media, and any other outlets that can reach people, that you are only 13% of the population, but make up 65% of the crime. And it was funny because they was really on their BS to begin with, because they was like, you 65% of the violent crime, but I think they dropped the modifier, so no violence, so now you just 65% of the crime. So the reason that's being done is that so when they come for you, nobody gonna feel empathy, because in their mind the seed has already been planted. You deserve it because your people are inherently criminal and a threat to the public safety. Your behavior over the course of this summer has done nothing to dispel these myths, as they have taken every opportunity to overplay any incident that will paint a negative image of our people. Niggas are fighting and twerking everywhere they go, shooting up the club because you can't get in, drill rappers killing each other, babies being deleted, elders being shot on Sunday morning, niggas getting robbed on Facebook Live, first day of school, niggas getting shot in the grocery store parking lot. And to be honest, the media has done a very good job of changing the verbiage around the crimes that you commit, changing the narrative from drive-bys to mass shootings, which open you up to possible domestic terrorism charges. Because, see, white people don't get killed in drive-bys. Everybody gets killed in mass shootings. Let me say that again. White people don't get killed in drive-bys. So nobody cares when it's a drive-by. Oh, well, let them do that to them, do that to themselves. Do it to each other. But when you start to call them mass shootings, you get lumped in with the Columbines and the Texases and the Houstons and the Las Vegas incidents and things of that nature. So it changes from a regular neighborhood situation to now you could possibly have domestic terrorism charges. And these are just a few of the incidents that made the news in my area. I don't even know I can imagine the level of madness that is occurring in other parts of the country. But think about this, right? Carnival Cruise Lines basically said that niggas' money was so negligible on their books that they was willing to forego all niggas' money to get the niggas that's gonna be on their boat to learn how to behave themselves. And if you niggas can't behave, stay your monkey ass at home. And a lot of y'all got upset and your panties got kicked up in your coochie about it, but none of y'all stopped cruising Carnival. You did exactly what they supposed to do. You with what they wanted you to do. You adjusted your goddamn behavior. Now we all know that Carnival is the affordable, and I put air quotes around that, affordable cruise line. That really just means it's the least expensive of the majors. And they found themselves in the unique position of being able to nigger-proof the prices. And make rule. I can't even say that. They found themselves in a unique position of being unable to nigger-proof their prices. Usually, the companies, the promoters, the venue, they just charge an astronomical amount at the door to sift out all the hood components. Now think about it. When the motherfucker charges $200 a head to get in the club, just to get in, a lot of niggas not coming. They staying home. And that's not hating or pocket watching. These is economical facts. We think we got it, but we really ain't got it like that. Okay, I give you another example, and I'll leave it on this, right? I give you another example. How many of y'all have heard of Ritz-Carlton Cruise Lines? Not many of y'all. Probably none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Ritz-Carlton got a cruise line. Yes, they do. And they don't cater to that bullshit. Them cruises is thousands of dollars a night. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't never heard about no twerking, no fighting on the boat, no weed smoking in the hallways, no loud ass speakers playing, because to be honest, they have found the way to effectively price out that element. And that just is what it is. Now, what we really got to understand is that the move has been made. The ball is in play and the game is on and popping. They got ICE for the illegals, FBI to coordinate the warrants and expedite the movements, DEA to pop any drug dealers, the ATF to get the guns, and the National Guard to get busy just in case any of y'all niggas want to get froggy. I mean, it's easy. This plan, though, has been on the table for a minute now. They just needed to give you a convenient villain to focus on. See, Cheeto Jesus ain't even the one to benefit from this. Those who come behind him will, Democrat and Republican. And that's why you don't see any of them. They're putting on a good show. It's very performative what they're doing, but ain't shit happening. And it's really amazing how we literally, our tax dollars pay legislators to legislate, and most of them are just becoming millionaires, which is just the buffer class for the billionaires. Don't never let that go over your head. And just like prices don't go down, politicians don't give back power. So while you cheering for your favorite political team, just remember, they all play in the same league. You don't. So understanding what's at stake and how all this shit is about to go down, there are some things that I believe you can do to protect yourself. And just like anything else in this great land of opportunity, because of the foolishment of others, you might be able to make yourself a little bit of money if you find yourself in that jam. Now, what they're expecting is that you will be unprepared. And unfortunately, for 85% that missed this, they probably won't be. But for that 5 to 15% that had the ability to put things together, 2 and 2, to add, to subtract, to basically read and comprehend, the opportunity is here for you to capitalize on it. Now, the first thing you need to do, if you haven't done this already, is get yourself a dash cam with a rear camera. Now, I don't have any recommendations on any particular brand. Just make sure you get a quality one with the rear camera able to be mounted in the interior of your vehicle. Now, when I recommend the interior of your vehicle, because when the rear camera is outside of the vehicle, it has a higher probability of being damaged or obstructed. Now, the second thing you should do is to get yourself a body cam as well. A premium feature to consider for either of these cameras is also whether or not they can be backed up to a cloud service or Google Drive when connected over Wi-Fi. This feature is major because it will allow you to save your data in case the SD card is damaged, lost, or stolen. And I say that with air quotes too, because we all know how that can go sometimes. Some of the cameras also have features like GPS tracking, which is helpful, but it's not required. And now for the final most important piece of this. We have recommendations for how we can have control over how we record and listen to what goes on in and around our vehicles and our bodies. We have taken away any excuses that you were reaching or you disobeyed a lawful order because you was trying to get your phone out to record. Your hands are free and you are recording everything in front of and behind you. But the single most important thing is to have a camera pointed directly at your driver's side window at an angle that could see you as well as anyone standing outside your door. This may possibly be the easiest and probably least expensive item on the list. What you can do is you can take an old Android cell phone that has Wi-Fi capabilities in the front camera and permanently mount it in your vehicle to cover the angle we mentioned previously. Now, the reason for this is twofold. One, you have a recording of you and anyone interacting with your vehicle on the driver's side. in your seat and directly outside your door. But also because of the Wi-Fi capabilities of the phone, you can live stream the interaction on social media as well as record the interaction directly to your home PC. There are several free apps that can help with this process, like IP Webcam or Droid Cam, that are really simple to set up on both ends, but are very powerful when it comes to recording and saving evidence. One of the first questions I always ask whenever I'm being approached by any police officer is if they body cam is on, because I want to be seen and I want to be heard, and I want to make sure everything that they say and do is seen and heard. But with that being said, you can never trust how they gonna edit the footage on the back end, or take out the volume, or cut it, just the shit that they do, and this is the stuff you got to deal with. But this method gives you complete control over the evidence and how it gets presented. This shit is powerful because we all know that when the people get caught on camera fucking up, they generally pay you for the situation to make the situation go away. The dash cam is really not as important as the dashboard phone, which can also double as a body cam with a vest or a harness that you could purchase off Amazon or one of those sites. Now, don't ever say nobody tried to put you up on game. It's not a matter of if, but when they coming. And when they do, they won't be discerning between the good niggas and the bad ones. We all gonna be on the same demonstration. And a lot of the rights that you have come to be accustomed to, they're gonna get violated, and some people might even get hurt in this situation. Make sure you're protecting yourself in every way possible, and make sure you're prepared when it go down. And if this the way them people want to go about it, make sure you understand, once again, that they pay you to make this type of shit go away when it's caught on camera. So make sure your ghetto blessing is on tape, because nobody would believe you if you told them. That's my 2 cents. Peace.